Ah, nice.
Alright, so here's the thing. In life, one of my topmost priority is about progress. And progress involves making mistakes, trying new things, and identifying the mistakes and acting upon it. And to some extent, sharing whatever the things I learned in my life with you guys. So you guys don't make the same mistakes that I did. So one huge disclaimer is that I'm only 21 years old and I don't have it all figured out. I don't think anyone has at this age at least. So whatever I say in this video is not necessarily the absolute truth or something. I mean, it can be, but it may not be as well. So these are just the things that I wish someone would have told me when I was 18 years old. But yeah, I don't think my 18-year-old self would listen to any of this, but I hope you guys do. So yes, enough chap, let's get started. And yeah, I prepared a list of everything in Notion last night, and so here's how it goes. The first up is to set up passive income streams. I think when you're starting out college, it's really important. It's a really plus point to get into the outer world knowing something more about money than most people do. So it's good to learn about investing, learn about freelancing, content writing, and other things that you can do as a programmer or as an artist that can earn you money. So these are the things that you somewhat need to figure out, in my opinion. If you want to know about how I make money from my side income sources, or as they call it, passive income, I can make a whole video about it and you guys can probably get something out of it. If you want me to do that, let me know in the comments below. Moving on to the next point is to value your parents. They are also getting older. When we're turning 18, most of our parents are probably in their 40s, late or early 40s. Like it can vary, but what you need to understand is to how much valuable your parents are. And when you're finally moving out of your house and going to a college, and somehow you need to realize that a huge part of their life, which was you, is going away from them. And so at least take your time every day, at night or at any point of time, to call them. Trust me, it really makes their day. So try to work as a team, don't be against them too much, and value the time you have with them. Okay, moving on to point 3 is to understand what kind of people are good for you. When you come into college, you're gonna meet a lot of people and you're gonna meet a whole lot of variety of different kinds of people. And I think one of the most valuable thing you can do from this, instead of just hanging out aimlessly with people, I mean, that is good to have fun, obviously, but you need to figure out what kind of people are good for you, as in like what kind of people you feel the most comfortable with, what kind of people helps you grow as much as possible. All those things really need to be figured out, although I'm not saying that you will figure it out exactly what you need, exactly what you look for in people just after college. But yeah, if you keep that in mind, you will slowly keep figuring things out, and I think that really helps. I know what kind of people I like, I know who are my people, and that sort of like helps in prioritizing stuff when people need help from me or people ask me for something. So yeah, keep that in mind. Number 4 is kind of counterintuitive to the number 3, that is to make connections. And I'm pretty sure if you have been on YouTube, you have heard a lot about making connections because they come in handy at one place or the other. And this is something I'm really working to improve, I hope. I guess. Okay, so the next one is document as much as possible. This is probably the most important thing in my opinion, that however you are going through life after 18, this is a really interesting and exciting phase of your life. It is a really fast-paced and interesting phase of your life, and there are really small little things that really made this whole part that much more cherishable. But we will definitely forget those small things maybe 5 years or 10 years down the line. So try to document everything. You can keep a journal, you can make YouTube videos like me, you can just keep making vlogs or something. You can take photos, make videos or anything of that sort, but document your life. You will thank me later. You will thank yourself later, maybe 10 years or 20 years down the line, when you will be able to remember every little thing about that one particular moment you shared with some other person, which was really special for you at that moment. And that hit of nostalgia, I mean, it really feels really, really good. Next point is to prioritize yourself. You really need to understand your priorities in life, because in college nobody is gonna be telling you what to do. Your parents will be around to tell you to study, your professors will never really tell you to study, and nobody will care if you don't attempt a test, nobody will care if you do bad in a test. So everything needs to be sorted out from your brain only. So that's when all the responsibility comes onto you, and you need to figure out where you put your time into. You can play some sports, you can be in different clubs, you have to take care of academics, you have to take care of like hangouts with friends and everything. So yeah, make sure you have that down and you prioritize everything. You have to visualize a list of your priorities and stuff. Different people have different ways of doing it. That is how I do it. Feel free to do any way you want to, but yes, do prioritize yourself on the top of the table. Alright, so coming into the productivity realm, start using schedules, because you're gonna have a lot on your plate when you're in college, and after 18 you have a lot more responsibilities, just like I said in the last point. So start using schedules, start planning when you're gonna do what, and when you start using your time well, when you start planning your time well, you will get a lot more free time out of it, and you would not have to worry about when I'm gonna do this, when I'm gonna do that. So that really helps, and you get a free time to hang out with your friends, chill, or if you just want to sleep, you can sleep a little more, and a little bit of more sleep never hurts anyone. So yes, start using schedules. You can either use some kind of phone app, like I mostly use Notion, or you can use some kind of diary which is over there, or use literally anything. So I've seen people use sticky notes on their walls. If that is your thing, go ahead, but do start using schedules. So number 9 is to be okay with losing people. The one thing you need to understand is the friends you made in school, the friends you make in college, they are mostly temporary. Most of them will be out of your life, and you will probably barely ever see them again after a few years, and that is okay. You don't need to grieve about how you're not gonna be around with your friends after a few years. Instead of whining about the inevitable end, we can use that time to cherish the moments that we do have with them, and that will make really, better memories in the end. And if you make stronger emotional connections and stronger memories with people, there is a even higher chance that you will actually stick around or keep in check with people even after college. Even if you are not in their physical proximity, you will still check up on them, and you will still stay close to them. All right, on to the next one. Number 10 is that be there for people you care about, and make efforts to show that you care for people. This is, I think, really important, because a lot of people feel underappreciated, unloved, and unliked in their life, when there are people who do care about them, but they fail to show it. So whenever I care about people, I tell them repetitively, and I try to show them in my actions that I do care about you, and I am there for you if you need me. So those are the little things you can do that can drastically improve someone else's life, and what can be a better thing to do than making others' lives better? So make efforts to show people that you're there for them and that you care for them. Damn, that rhymed. Well. On to number 11, learn to say no. This is a problem that I have been struggling with for the longest time. Whenever people ask me for a favor, I find it really hard to say no. But then in the end, after saying yes to a lot of people, I end up having too much on my plate, and I end up not prioritizing myself, and I don't have time for myself in the end, which is not good, which is absolutely not good. I will end up doing stuff that I don't want to do, and I will miss out on things that I do want to do. So yes, it's not as rude as you think it is. If you don't have time, if it's not a priority, just tell people no. You can't do that, you can't help them, or you can't do them a favor. They don't care that much. They don't care as much as you think they do. So yes, start to say no to things that you don't want to do. On to the next one is to try scary things. Things that scared me was talking to people, so I started talking to more people. And the other thing that scared me was singing in front of people, so I started making covers. I started singing in front of my friends, not many of them, but yeah, I at least did something. The next thing would be definitely public speaking, going on a stage or something. So yeah, that will come down the line at some point or the other. So yeah, these are the things that you need to point out, things that scare you, that sound really intimidating, and those are the things just outside of your comfort zone, and those are the things that will help you grow as much as possible. So the next thing is a little bit redundant with the first one. Learn to invest and learn about cryptocurrencies. These are the things that I don't know much about, but I can definitely tell you that I'm learning, and learning about these are going to be really valuable in the future, that I can guarantee. So if you have time, do invest a little bit of it in learning about investing, because whenever you grow up, get a job and get some money, you will not know where to invest that money. So if you know all these things beforehand, it can be a little more smooth a transition into adulthood. All right. Next thing, talking about money as well, is to try keeping a budget. So when you come to college and you're given a pocket money, and your parents are not around to tell you what to buy and what not to buy, and not to waste your money, you end up wasting a lot of money in useless stuff. So it's really useful if you start maintaining a budget. Whenever you track something, half of your problem is solved. So when you see where your money is going and where your money is coming from, how much money is going into what, you can really understand that, oh shit, I spent too much on food. I maybe should not. I should go to the mess more instead of the canteen. So those are the things that you can visualize when you keep a budget, and that really helps in keeping your expenses in check and saving up more for the future. On to number 16, learn to apologize properly and learn to forgive people. So here's the thing. Whenever someone misbehaves with you, it's most likely not your fault. It's most likely something they have been going through. They're having a bad day, or they're having some kind of bad experience. It's in most cases not about you. But if it is about you, and you do acknowledge that you did a mistake or something and you fucked up, then sincerely apologize to people. Most people are really forgiving, and that can really help not mess up your relationships. So yes, apologize to people, and whenever someone is genuinely apologizing to you, do learn to forgive them. Okay, on to number 16 is to be in some kind of physical activity, be it some kind of sport, or if you want to go to the gym, that's fine as well. But some kind of physical activity, one, it keeps your brain running like at its optimum best. Secondly, it keeps your body fit. So it's a win-win situation either way. So get into some kind of physical activity. It will help in the long run, because this is when our bodies are at prime, and if we don't take care of our body, we don't feel that much of a difference, but it will start showing up in your late 30s or something. So if you start getting into a fitness routine, or start working out and start staying fit, and giving that little bit of time out of every day to start staying fit, it will show in the long run, and you will be in better shape for a longer period of. And some kind of physical activity like sports or gym, everything feels really good, and you feel like you achieved something every day, and you kind of feel more motivated. I don't know how that works, but it definitely does. On to number 17 is to talk to yourself, identify yourself. Like literally talking to yourself reveals a lot about you, because after 18, when you come to college, you learn a lot about the outer world, but you learn a lot about yourself when you're interacting with people, and looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking about how you've been interacting with people, how you have been dealing with things, how you have been managing your anxiety, and how you have been managing your happiness, how you have been managing your expenses, and all these things. Start looking back at yourself, and you will learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn what makes you happy, you'll learn what kind of people are good for you, and all those things. Almost everything that I said on this list needs you to look back at yourself. So one thing you can do that I often do is to write a letter to yourself. I do write a lot of letters to myself, and one of them was recreated in a video that will be over here, or here, somewhere over there. That is probably one of my favorite videos on this channel that I read, that is really, really close to my heart. So if you have time, do give it a watch. I mean, there's one thing that is really, really important. Don't make decisions after 2 a.m. in the night. People get really vulnerable and emotional, and after 1 or 2 a.m. in the night, you're gonna have a lot of night outs and all-nighters in college. So you really need to understand that people just like you get a lot more vulnerable and a lot more emotional at night. So do not make decisions after 1 or 2 a.m. at night. It's always better to keep that thought in your mind and wake up the next morning and think about it and think over it all over again, and then go ahead and make a decision. If you still think it's a good decision, go ahead. The other 2 points that I had in 18th is to do not reply to someone when you are angry, but it can often mess up relationships with people, so don't do that. If you're angry with someone, you don't have to reply to them instantly. Take your time, calm yourself down, and then think over everything, and then you can talk to them afterwards in a cooler mindset. And the last sub point is also similar. Don't commit to something whenever overly happy. For me, commitments are really, really important. Whenever I say something that I'll do this or I'll do that, I'll show up for this, I really try my best to do as I have said. If you guys have watched Naruto, it's a really popular dialogue from Naruto that I never go back on my word. That's my ninja way. So that's probably one thing that you should follow. Whenever you start committing to things and you try to keep all those commitments, people can finally rely on you, and that's a really good thing in the end. Alright, so that was 18 tips that I wish someone would have given me when I was 18-year-olds. I hope I could be that someone for all the 18-year-olds out there. And hey, editor Sanko here. I just remembered that I forgot to tell something in that video that I'm currently editing. So what I wanted to say is, if you have a crush on someone, do absolutely go ahead and tell them. It doesn't have to be super quick. You can take your time to get comfortable and get more friendly with them, but do end up telling them in the end, because you don't want that regret to hang around your whole life of what it could have been. Even if you get rejected, that's like 6 months of free gym motivation, and you're gonna kill it in your life, and everything else, like cats and everything, is gonna just boost up. But yeah, don't have regrets. Try to minimize regrets as much as possible. If you have a crush, do ask them out. Okay, so yeah, I hope any of this helps you out. If you have any experience with any of these tips that you would like to share, do share it in the comments. I still read all of your comments, each and every one of them. So yeah, do say hi to me in the comments, because nobody has been saying hi to me recently. Well. Another thing is, another thing I need to remind you about is that my birthday is really close, and I have been doing a charity for my birthday. For every 50 likes that I get on this video, I will donate $1 to charity, and we have so far reached the total of $94, which is huge, and I hope you guys can help me out. Every little donation, even if it is $1 or $2, that really counts, and that really helps me out. So for more information, do go watch that video. It says everything about where the money is going and everything. So yes, and I am planning a storytelling kind of video later this week, so do stay around for that. And the goal of reaching 100k before my birthday is not gonna happen. We still need more than 10,000 subscribers, and we have like 10 days till my birthday at the time of recording this. So yeah, that dream is kind of thrown out of the window. That's fine. We'll get there as soon as possible.